tattooing with the tap and sharp needles, I guess.
Okay. No problem. So it's a pleasure having you join us finally. I know we've gone back and forth for quite a long time here. Now, any topics you wanted to cover in particular today?
No, I pretty much did some research on just about everything. I know you've been talking about the GMOs, but I heard, something about the Russian fires, and I heard, which is something I've actually been keeping up with lately, too.
Okay, well, lead me in whatever direction you want me to be led in.
No,
I am your sheep right now.
Hell yeah. I guess one of the big things, to start off is, for me, is the high fructose corn syrup. I'm really big about the non-sugar
Right, and you made a couple videos on that, too.
Yes, I have, which I have on my YouTube channel.
And what is your YouTube channel? We can promote that right now.
It's Nix versus NWO, so just NIX vs NWO. But,
okay, NIX vs NWO.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so tell us about your video.
Well, when I first started learning about, the high fructose corn syrup, the main thing was, I guess they had some tests about 4 or 5 years ago where items that had just regular items you have in the kitchen, like ketchup, Cokes, things like that nature, seriously, they tested for mercury, just mercury, and it has to do with the process of making high fructose corn syrup. And mercury seems to be a byproduct that tends to get into products. And Coca-Cola itself tested positive for mercury, not just the high fructose corn syrup that was used for it, but the item itself was actually tested positive for mercury.
Right.
So that in itself scared me, so I actually started looking in my own kitchen and figuring out what's all in there. And it's amazing how much is used just targeted towards children. Ketchup is a big deal. Seriously, it's in most ketchup. I had to find an organic ketchup, which is not very easy.
Well, Heinz recently announced that they're going to change their ways and get rid of high fructose.
Them and several other people. I know Kraft is working on some things, and actually nowadays when you go to the store, you can find juices now that actually have a label in the front that say no high fructose corn syrup, which before you could not. So I'm surprised how many people are actually becoming aware of it.
Well, I mean, Langer's is a brand that I've been drinking for quite a while. Now, I can't vouch to say whether or not the water is fluoridated or not fluoridated, but they do say that they don't contain any high fructose corn syrup.
Surprisingly, the safest thing is when you get normal fruit juices, not the major mixes or anything, but straight orange juice, straight apple juice, and I think what we get right now is actually a blueberry juice, blueberry, pomegranate, and other things. But if you get just regular fruit juices instead of, fruit punch and all those other kind of things.
Well, yeah, the concentrate ones is what you don't want. You don't want a cranberry cocktail.
And you can buy oranges that are just soaked in fructose syrup, and that's how they sell them in cans. So why not just get regular one with natural sugars? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you have a choice either buying it in fructose syrup or orange juice. You can buy, sliced oranges that way. Those are your two choices.
Yeah, I mean, instead of ketchup on your hamburger, you could just go really old school and just cut up some Roma tomatoes.
All right, make your own ketchup.
No, I know people that don't like tomatoes, but they'll eat ketchup.
Yeah, and vice versa, too. But ketchup's usually a little sweet. That's the thing. You add a little sugar, and people will eat just about anything, so.
Right, so what have you done so far to clean your fridge and your cabinets out of high fructose?
Well, besides just reading labels, which is a very big deal, I totally just, got rid of the microwave. There's no microwave in our house at all, which microwave, just the radiation, everything else just totally destroys food and makes it pretty much, nuclear. I mean, think about it, So got rid of the microwave, which takes away all nutritional value of food that's processed through it, and started cooking. I use crock pot. We buy all fresh vegetables instead of tomato paste and things of that nature. Bread was a big deal, trying to find a bread that didn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. There are a few natural breads, but not many. Other than that,
what's your bread choice?
French bread, actually. I buy a loaf of French bread, and it makes awesome sandwiches, good pizza.
Well, let me ask you, because you're in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Sunflower Market or New Market out near you anywhere?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, because and the website is sfmarkets.com. And let's see, if you're near, you should be able to. I'll look that up on a break.
I know we
but
have
there
Whole
should
Foods
be out there, and that's
here.
my favorite grocery store, actually.
Yeah, Whole Foods is a big deal here.
You have Trader Joe's?
No, but I tend to hit the Trader's Village and Farmers Market, and like you said, Whole Foods is around here. A lot of Whole Foods, and I actually live next door to a Brahms, and they actually have natural market there that comes straight out of their farms as well. So, and that's where I get the hormone added milk for cows, and so I get straight up vitamin D, because that's one thing that's being taken away from our kids is. We need natural vitamins, and vitamin D is important with calcium, and get out in the sun. The sun can help process, all the vitamins we need, plus lots of other minerals are given that way. So I think we need to get back to the vitamin D milk instead of all this.
Yeah, but it doesn't, you can't pay for it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. True. So if they can't
eventually you might have to pay money to look at the sun.
No, instead, when you're sick, they tell you stay inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, the sun can actually heal us. So if you actually get outside and away from the processed air where you're just recirculating your sickness, then you can be healed. It's crazy. So instead, they say stay inside and stay away from everybody. And in truth, we should get outside, breathe fresh air, and, allergies, too. Expose yourself instead of running.
Well, I don't know if anybody wants me to expose myself in the park, but that's another issue. But I'm a big fan of herbs and minerals, and no, not the ganja weed in the backyard. That's not my thing. I'm talking about like basil and oregano and things like that. Nothing that I have to pass the Dutchie to any left-hand side of.
Yeah, and actually things like that are very simple to grow, and they grow year-round if you keep them indoors, basil and cilantro being one of them, so you can have a permanent spice available to you that you can just literally pick fresh, that that has no pesticides or anything else, which is what I do as well. Just simple things to start off with, because it takes, experience, and you have to learn how to do it. It's not as easy as it sounds. You just can't just go drop seeds in the dirt and expect them to grow. They take a lot of care. And
well, according to Monsanto, you can.
Yeah, only if they're herbicide ready, right? So I guess it all depends on the genetics put into it.
Right. So I know that I've been challenging myself lately on cooking with various herbs and spices, and I think you could cure a lot of what goes on by doing that.
You can, because you actually get items that are rich in the original minerals and vitamins that they were created with, as opposed to being processed, dehydrated, and canned, so that they lose any of their potential nutritional and healing value that they had when they were in the dirt. It's something that most people lose, which is what happens with fast food. Anything that becomes processed and dehydrated just lose any nutritional value.
Well, did you catch my first hour where we covered a lot of cloned meat now, where it's perfectly acceptable to have cloned beef?
Right, and that's entered the UK market. I haven't seen any word about it being here in the US yet, but yeah.
It's been here since 2008.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. Here they just don't tell you anything. FDA doesn't regulate too much.
No, even if a company wanted to go legit and say that they believe in clone meats and they think that this is like the best thing since clone meat, that they can